Joining me now, GiGi McKelvey. She's covered the case extensively on her podcast, Pretty Lies and Alibis, talking about Vallow. Prosecutor, state attorney in Florida, Dave Aronberg, and criminal defense attorney, Mark Geragos. All right, first, let's start with Vallow, and let's start with the big ticket here, which is not getting the death penalty. GiGi, in your coverage of this, why does this matter to the story?
Well, they've gone for death. And, you know, there's been questions about her mental health, which she does not intend to bring up in the guilt or innocence phase. But of course, in the mitigation phase, that can come in. They say that it has been oversaturated in the media, for starters. And I mean, that bus left the station 3 years ago. There's been so many documentaries and countless specials on this case, so I'm not sure how far that'll go. But right now, the state is saying that that is not ripe. That's not an issue. We have not had trial. We have not had a verdict. So he is going to rule on all these motions, by the way, by March 22nd. Yeah,
I mean, look, it's totally self-serving, but I really believe in transparency. I understand the prejudice issue, but this judge is going back like old school with just allowing a cartoon artist in there. Dave, what's the strongest case for the prosecutors to want the death penalty here?
She murdered her 2 children. And there is also an involvement and an accusation she was involved with the death of her husband's then wife. And so there are 3 dead bodies. Now, I don't think she's going to get the death penalty, but this whole thing took a lot of planning. The dead bodies were found on Chad's property, and so they were in cahoots with each other. But she's a woman, and it's very hard to give a woman the death penalty. I think it's more likely that Chad will get the death penalty. His trial comes later. Don't be surprised, by the way, Chris, when Chad points a finger at Lori. But Lori Vallow, I don't think, will point the finger at Chad. She's too smitten by the gravedigger to do so.
Well, especially if the cult thing is real at all, she would be the one in the sway, not him. Counsel Geragos, if you're the defense, what's your pushback on the death penalty? And secondly, how do you feel about there being no media in the courtroom?
You know, I've gone back and forth on media in the courtroom. I agreed many years ago on a high-profile murder case that I tried, which was also a death penalty, to not have media in the courtroom, which was the prosecution's request. In retrospect, I thought it was a mistake. And I say that because part of the problem is when you have a case like this, what I call a supersized case that gets kind of wall-to-wall media coverage, a lot of times, and you don't have a sequestered jury, which fits in with the media coverage pre-trial, you get kind of urban legends and myths that go into the ether, and it can't help but affect what jurors do. And so I think if you're going to have a case like this, sequester the jurors and let the media into the courtroom so they can see the trial.
Yeah, I mean, I think anything that's high profile, you're better off just sequestering the jury. It just takes really so much off the table. Now, GiGi, this judge has indicated he may allow audio. To me, that's like a bad Solomonic decision there. So, you know, so you're going to let it get out, but you're not going to let it get out in a way that really helps people understand it.
No, and not only that, but it's going to be $5 for the first 20 minutes of audio and then 25 cents per minute after that. So if you're in Idaho, you've paid tax dollars to fund their defense, you could have $6,000 in what you're putting out just to hear this trial. And here's the other thing. They don't know how they're going to give it. They have mentioned burning them on CDs, which is circa 1995. Maybe some flash drives. They have talked about possibly putting it online. But there is a big uproar among people in Idaho, as well as people that have followed this trial for 3 years, because in the beginning, everything was live streamed. And to charge people who have paid tax money into this, and I mean astronomical rates, it's like the biggest pay-per-view in history I've ever seen.
Yeah, and you know, communities take ownership of kids when they're killed. And they want to know about this, whether or not there's any, you know, continuing threat or not. They take it personally, and I think this judge is misreading that, but it's his call. He's the judge. Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.